So guys, I promise I'm really not trying to steal your time, but right now while editing I realized the video is 15 minutes long, which is actually really long for a video. But I didn't want to cut anything off since everything I mentioned in this video is beneficial, whether you should get a PS5, Xbox Series X or a gaming PC for Christmas, or if you're just interested right now in getting a console or a new PC for around that budget which the console would usually cost, so let's say around $500, something like that. And I will name all the benefits of the consoles. And I have to tell you, there are tons of benefits right now of getting a console over a $500 PC, no matter if you look for a pre-built or a used market. But I'm gonna break everything down, and I promise you, after watching this 15 minutes, guys, you will understand everything and you will have a clear decision whether you should go for a console or a PC, and all your questions are gonna be answered, and you're gonna know 100% what you wish for Christmas, or yeah, if you just want to get hands on something new, you know. And yeah, make sure to watch the video. Leave a like and a sub, I would really appreciate it. I put tons of work into my videos. And yeah, have a great day, great night, whenever you're watching this. If you're watching this at 3 AM, go to sleep after this video, please, okay? Have a good one. Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on my channel. And this video is again really spontaneous, but I want to answer the question, should I get a console right now, or should I get for the same money, keep that in mind, for the same money, a gaming PC? And I'm going to talk about everything, whether you should buy a pre-built PC, since I know a lot of people are actually afraid to buy PC parts separately and build the PC themselves, even though it's really easy, guys. Like, literally go on YouTube and you will find thousands of tutorials how to build a PC, and no matter which configuration, you can literally find for everything something. Like, let's say you want to put a 2080 in there with a new i7, it's easy as fuck, like just search up the tutorials. But okay, I'm gonna give you a pre-built PC kinda around the same price, and then we're gonna talk about used PC components, since especially when you buy used components you can save a lot of money. And yeah, we're just gonna talk generally about what my opinion is if I would get for around $500 rather the new Xbox or the new PS5 or a PC. And without any further ado, I'm just gonna start speaking now here. If you're interested and you still can't decide, watch the entire video, make sure to watch the entire video, and I will basically cover everything you need to know. So, first of all, we're gonna take a look. I basically just googled the Xbox Series X specs, you know. We've got an 8-core CPU with 3.8 GHz, which is absolutely amazing for a console Zen 2. So you can more or less compare this to Ryzen 7 2700X, something like that, in that range. So, you know, like, I think the Ryzen 7 is like $200, the 2700X, like $150 to $200, and on the used market, maybe even cheaper. And yeah, now the graphics unit has 12 teraflops, which is absolutely crazy if you think about a 2080 RTX has 10 teraflops, and the 2080 Ti has like 14 teraflops. So this is basically a GPU which has the power, the raw power, between the 2080 and 2080 Ti. And keep in mind, the Xbox Series X is like $490, I think right now, $450 to $500, something like that, in that price range. And if you would go right now to the store and buy like a high-end graphics card, like let's say like a RTX card 2080 Ti 3070, you would basically, yeah, get the same, for the same money which this whole entire console costs, you would get just simply a graphics card. Yeah, and speaking of the specs, we get 16 gigs of GDDR6 RAM, which is also great at all. Like, obviously you won't notice the difference that much between usual DDR RAM like DDR4 and this new RAM, but it's a nice little touch. And let's talk about the fact that we get for $500 a 8-core CPU, we get a graphics card which is better than a 2080, which is mind-blowing, super new RAM. We get an inbuilt SSD with around 560 gigabytes, I think, or how much was it? Or one terabyte. Sorry, I was reading right. 1 terabyte. Okay, a custom NVMe SSD, so M2 SSD basically, for those people who know it under this name. And this altogether for 500 euros or dollars, depending on where you live. If you live in Europe or the States, so around $500. You get all this together, and on top of that, keep in mind, guys. Let's even say you would build a PC with a Ryzen 7 and 2080. What do you think in, like, let's say 3 or 4 years is gonna get more FPS or is gonna be better optimized? It's obviously always the console. And Xbox announced they're gonna put on the next lineup of games which should be all optimized for 120 FPS. And no matter what, guys, the optimization on console is so much better than for PC games. All the games out there, if it's Assassin's Creed, if it's Call of Duty, it's all getting optimized primarily for the console players, since the console community is way bigger than the PC community. Since consoles are just so much more affordable and have like the better price to budget, price to performance range, if you know what I'm saying. And yeah, in 4 years, you will still get those 120 FPS on most AAA titles. And the difference is on PC that won't happen, since the optimization for PC is very poorly most of the time. And with a console, you don't need to struggle about it. They will find a way to turn down one graphics option to make sure it still looks absolutely amazing and it's 120 FPS. They will make sure that's a thing, since that's their new main market right now here, promoting those high-end consoles. And if people buy that, obviously they want it as well in like 3 to 4 years. Still be able to play on 4K or 1080p, 120 FPS. And just as the console generations before, where we had already like 4K, they will make sure you're gonna get at least 4K resolution or at least 120 FPS, and still won't look horrible. I don't know, have you ever played on like Xbox, what was it called? The Xbox One X, I think it was called, not the Series X, the Xbox One X. And the 4K looked absolutely stunning, and on console it just looked great. Like all the games I ever played on an Xbox on 4K, it all looked great. Same with the PS4 Pro. And they will make sure you will maintain this 120 FPS even in a few years ahead. And now think about a gaming PC. A 2080 is already right now worse than the newest budget model of the 30 series. The 2080 is worse than a 3070. So let's go ahead like 3 to 4 years from now on, when even the next generation is gonna be out, like the RTX 4000 series probably, if they're just gonna continue how they continued right now. And yeah, just think about it. You will have a outdated, 2 generations outdated low-end card. Obviously right now for $500 get a console, no matter what. And even if you would build a gaming PC right now, you have to be sure that you have to think about that you need to upgrade 100% your GPU in the next few years. Like even though you buy right now a 2080, which is still very strong and powerful, you need to upgrade at least the next generation after the 30 series. And with the console right now for $500, you will still get provided with 120 FPS even in the next 3 to 4 years, and you don't have to worry about nothing. You always will get the best optimization out there, you will get really good graphics, and they will somehow make sure, I promise you, they will make sure you get those 120 FPS no matter what happens. And yeah, now we spoke about this. For the PS5 it's kind of the same, just the PS5 is a little bit weaker, so I just will speak now for the Xbox Series X, but they will make sure as well on the PS5 that you get your 120 FPS. You're their main market. If you're a console player, they will do everything to please you in any way. So yeah, just thinking about those specs, this is absolutely insane. You need to pay at least like 1,000 euros, double the price, to get this PC parts right now, or those specs. You need to pay at least 1,000 euros in a PC, which will not be able to provide the same performance as this console in the next 3 to 4 years. Keep that in mind. So, but if you're a PC gamer, if you're, I don't know, you say you want to work on your PC, or you're just a PC gamer overall and don't really want a console, for $549, this is like, I've just searched through, I hate recommending you pre-builds, guys, and also never get a pre-build, but since there are a lot of people who are scared to buy their PC themselves, this is just a side option. Yeah, you would get like a Ryzen 5 2600 and a GTX 1650, which is way behind the console. Like, if you want to buy a PC for this price, a pre-build, rather get the console. Like, if we're gonna look at, we're just gonna compare now the raw graphics power. The 1650 has 3 teraflops. The Xbox Series X has 12. 4 times the amount. Yeah, 4 times. 4 times the amount of graphics power. And you got an 8-core CPU. And not a freaking 6-core outdated Ryzen 5 2600. And not 8 gigs of RAM. Like you can see the new Xbox or even the PS5 is so much better than a PC, a pre-built in that price range. But let's say you still don't want to have a console in your room, you still want to go for a PC, go for used parts. But even there right now, I will tell you right now, first of all, don't buy a RTX 20 series graphics card new right now. $500 is an absolute scam. You can get basically a 4070 for the same amount of money. But the graphics card market is right now really confused since Nvidia just killed their entire lineup before. Just think about a $500 graphics card from Nvidia's newest lineup. Killed everything which was like the high-end models in the other series, like in the 2000 series. Like a 2080 Ti is worse than a 3070 for 1/5 of the money. So the whole market needs like at least a bunch of weeks or months to settle down. The 2080 Ti dropped here in Europe below 500 euros, which means the 2080 will drop probably on like 350. The 2070 will drop to 300, maybe 280, something like that. And the 2060 will drop by now, or is already here in Europe, at around 250, 200 euros, something like that. And then the 1080 will drop under 200, the 1070 will drop under 150, the 1060 will drop way under 70 or 60 euros, since it's just not in relation anymore. Spending 100 euros more will give you so much more performance that the 1060, basically, you can give that one away. Like, if you bought 2016 a 1060 for 350 euros, you can basically give it away right now. And the same with AMD. Like, I don't know if you remember, so those RX Vega 56 cards, which were like 200 euros a year ago, and they kind of performed on the same level as a 1070 Ti. Right now you can get them probably for like 120 euros. And the same is gonna happen with the American market as well. Just get the new, like, let the new cards get more mainstream, and even with AMD's new release, keep that in mind now. AMD just released a card for $1,000, which will provide you with the same performance as the 3090, which means this market will drop as well. The 3090 is gonna get cheaper, which will cause again a chain reaction, so the 3080 will get cheaper, the 3070 will get cheaper, the 2080 Ti will get cheaper. Basically wait right now. Like, I wouldn't recommend you at all to get right now a gaming PC. But if you talk about $500 and you want to get something right now here for Christmas, I'm talking so long right now here, but as I mentioned before, if you're interested, this is all my knowledge I scattered together over the last few years, guys. I'm just trying to give you the best information right now. The 2060 will easily be below $200 around Christmas. And never buy, obviously right now, a RTX card, like something older than the 3070, don't buy it brand new right now. Even the 1660 Ti, this will become everything dirty cheap after Christmas, or around Christmas already, since I think it will need like another month for the 30 series to actually establish, and all the graphics cards, which were like 1 year ago around $200 to $300, will drop below $150, $120, since there's just no need for them anymore. Like a used 3070 will probably, I don't know, let's say like here in Europe you can get right now a brand new 3070 for around 500 euros. If it's used already 1 or 2 months, it's gonna drop on like 480, 470, 460, and that will again cause a chain reaction, since more people tend to buy used cards then, since it's just so much more better. Like, you can get probably then, like, as mentioned right now, a 2080 Ti, a used one for 450 euros, that's a great deal. And the same is gonna happen with the new cards when they become, you know, there's always like people buying stuff and then out of a sudden they need money again, so they sell it, and just let the market sink a little bit. And for 500 you can easily get like around Christmas probably like a 2060, maybe even 2070 with a Ryzen 7 2700 or something like that, and 16 gigs of RAM, which is an absolute beast of a PC. And you will get more FPS, even though the hardware is worse. On console, they will rather prefer actually visuals than giving you more than 120 FPS. Like the new consoles, they could run basically most of the titles even on more than 144 Hz. They could easily push it up to like 180, even maybe 240 Hz, depending on the game. But they won't do it, since they always do prefer visuals, since console is more like for casual players. They don't really see the competitive aspect of gaming on consoles. And they kind of want to be casual for everyone. So they just want to push up the graphics, and that's basically the reason. why you will get even with a 2060 more FPS on a PC since it's just unlocked. That's the reason behind it. And I don't want to make this video now even more longer. Basically, just listen to me, wait until Christmas, wait for the market to establish a little bit, wait for the used graphics card market. Like, everyone is just confused. Me as well. Like, I bought 1 year ago, I bought a RTX 2070 for 560 euros. And 1 year later, I have to probably sell it for 250, if I would even get it for 250, I don't know. Let's see around Christmas when the 2080 Ti gets even more cheaper. And yeah, since the first people you have to think about, right now the used market prices are because of people who bought a new graphics card. But if someone bought a 3080 1 month ago, they can't sell it anymore as new, or I don't know, like slightly used, you know what I'm saying? It's used then. If you use it for one month, it's used, and you have to take off at least like 3% or something of that. 2 to 3% of the stock price. And just let the market settle in. And this is basically the entire video here, guys. If you have watched me right now here talking for 60 minutes, I totally appreciate that, guys. And trust me, everything I will say right now will happen in the future. Just wait for the market to settle. And after or around Christmas, you will get something like a 2060 and a Ryzen 7 for under 500 euros, $500, trust me. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for all the support. I really enjoy making those videos for you. And yeah, make sure to leave a like and a sub. And until next time, have a great day. If you have any questions left over, just feel free to ask me them down in the comment section. I will answer all of them. I answer always all of my comments. Even though it takes like 3 to 4 days, I always answer them. And until next time, yeah, have a great day. Peace.